morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 100% tier, and welcome to UFRL. So again, we head to the 100% tier tonight. We are live from Monza, the Italian Grand Prix. 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by the full 100% race distance. So let's get prepared for this. Get your popcorn out. The Bird is the first driver on track. A multiple-time race winner, and he'll be gunning for this season's championship as well. Typically, I think he'll be up against the likes of Merck and Rusted Bolt. Those two always seem to do well in this tier, so if he could beat those two, he's got himself a big chance. Link's Peace also back racing as well in that Kick Sauber, so those two are back together again, which is good to see. You've got Coffee, you've got, I think Bam is in there, you've got Parkour. So yeah, you've certainly got solid drivers. King EOG, Deck is there. Ardle reserving tonight. Here's our UFRL debut as well. So it's a good opportunity to see the Haas in action alongside Merck this evening. And then you've also got the development tier drivers, of course. Destroyer Drac is leading the championship. You've got Kesonator, Havoc Connor. You've got DD Friend, Boy Knockout, William, and PRV Widget as well. So effectively, the quickest cars are in the Elite Championship. The slower cars... Oh, hang on. I'll wait round, sorry. So the quickest cars, as the Bird is just about to start, is that flying into turn 1. But yeah, the quickest cars, the likes of McLaren, Red Bull, they're in the development tier. So that is McLaren, that is Ferrari, that is Aston Martin, that is Mercedes, and that is Red Bull as well. DD Friend also, I think I didn't mention his name, and Bam also in the V car this evening as well. And yeah, so for the elite tier, they are the slower cars. So you've got the Visa RB or the V car, whichever one you prefer. You've got the Williams, the Haas, the Kick Sauber, and the Alpine as well. UFRL Coffee alongside Parkour there. But that is how the two championships work in this tier. The Bird, though, let's see what he can do, as we're just seeing Taylor, Parkour, Bam. Good evening to you all, and good evening to everyone else watching. The Bird just about to set his time, but let's see what he can do here, heading round the Ascari chicane, and out of it nicely, out of turn 9, heading round into turn 10, around a parabolica, of course. It's good. I do like Italy as well, because it does actually have actual corner names, obviously being such an iconic circuit. But round the parabolica, the Bird is going to be the opening time for the Kick Sauber, and it is a 1:19.967. So a great effort from him. As our Widget starts his lap, we're going to see Dex set his first time. It's a 1:20.4 for him. Places him just behind, but Coffee splits the pairing with a 1:20.1, as we've got both Haas together, with Ardle ahead of Merck. And of course, Haas want to try and catch up to the Kick Saubers in the Constructors' Championship as well. So maybe they need to work together to try and do that. Merck will certainly be doing all he can. I mean, Ardle's only reserving, but who knows? Merck may not mind having Ardle as a full-time Haas driver if Ardle can show that he can work together with Merck in this race. It'll be interesting to see. But obviously with Link's back racing alongside the Bird, it's going to be difficult to stop the two Kick Saubers. You've got Havoc Connor just starting a lap as well. Bolt coming round. Parkour as well, just getting through. But let's go back to orders of Haas then. Ardle will be the first one across the line. It's a 1:20.6 for him. And Merck with a 1:20.7. So just a tenth of a second separating the two Haas. And Rusted Bolt slots into 6th ahead of Willie in 7th and King EOG in 8th. Not too much of a distance so far, covering that top 8 just over 1.3 seconds. Almost 1.4, as also Link's Piece is going for a run. A little bit squirmy there for Parkour. Bam has invalidated Link's Piece. Just going through into Sector 2, now Sector 3. Let's see what his split's going to be. 52.9 for Link's Piece. You've got Connor coming through as well. So let's stick with Havoc Connor then for the time being. Is he going to get into the 120s on this lap even? Yes, he will. 120.7 goes into the top 6. And let's drop towards Link's piece then on his return after, I think, a couple of weeks away from racing. But let's see what Link's can do. And he goes quickest. Well, it's 100th of a second, but it's good enough for now. I mean, the times will get quicker, do not get me wrong. As an interesting strategy is arising here from the Aston Martin. So that would have been Destroyer Drac actually. He's only on an outlap. It's not Drac, hang on, that's not the Aston Martin. Who was that just behind? Well, they're just overtaking him now, it's the Williams. So you're looking at not Rusted Bolt, so it's going to be Declan using Slipstream there. Well, with that in mind, it would be unreasonable not to go towards Deck as the bird 119.6 goes quickest. Declo up into P3 ahead of Coffee now. So Deck with a sub 120 does go quicker than that Mercedes. As you've got Taylor with a 120.9 in P8 just behind his teammate Havoc Connor. So Boy Knockout just about to start a lap as well. You've got DD, you've got Kesonator. We are live across both platforms, Twitch and TikTok this evening. The Twitch is UFRL Formula 1, the number, not the letter. And our TikTok, UFRL _ F1, as Kesonator has taken to the escape route. Oh, Taylor will need an invite. Let's get him back into the lobby. He might need another one after this, so that tends to be how it works. But hopefully that one's okay. Fingers crossed he could join on that one. If he can't, just let me know and I'll re-invite you back in. But Kesonator has invalidated Destroyer Drac going round. Let's see the Haas again, as Merc did actually improve there. He's up to P5 now. Rusted Bolt up to the line. He's gone ahead of Merc. So Bolt has gone up to 5th himself. So the times are beginning to get a little bit quicker as the bird looks like he's ran out of fuel as he heads into the pit. Let's go back towards DD Friend then, but he's not on a lap. And not burning battery. I think he changed his battery mode a little bit too late there, so he's probably going to lose some time down the straight just because he was in none for the first hundreds of meters on that occasion. As there is an improvement there, Boy Knockout flies up into the top 5 now. So Boy Knockout separating the two Williams and the Alpine there as well. So you've got the Bird and Lynx in the top 2, but it's still pretty close between everyone. Deck Coffee, Boy Knockout's done pretty well in 5th there. Rusted Bolt, then the two Haas together, two Mercedes together as well. Destroyer Drac just enters the pit lane. Parkour running into turn 1. We're going to quickly try and get towards... Well, on with Merc, but Ardell has just started another lap. So let's see if the Haas can improve on this occasion. And up the field we go. Rusted Bolt not on a lap. Merc looks like he has just run out of fuel. Interesting camera angle there. He is certainly letting the Red Bull go through. Then again, you can't exactly not because, you know, he's ran out of fuel. So he can't go much quicker. Check if I'm lagging. I will too. If you're just about to go out, I will check in a second, mate. Appreciate you sending that a message in, actually, Jack. Right, let's go back on Kesonator. He's on the medium tyre as well, to be fair to Kesonator. He has not yet been able to set a lap time. Bam, getting through 120.9, goes P11, just ahead of his teammate as well. About 4 tenths separating them. DD Friend there, and there is a time posted by Parkour, who rises up into the top 6 now ahead of Bolt. A 120.454 has been recorded. And also Ardell does improve, and Ardell now goes 4 fastest at 120.077. But the two Kicks Albers on an outlap, and look, they are together again. This certainly seems to be the strat that the Kicks want to use. Why would he join? Yeah, it's because you're not in the league, mate, I think. Yeah, that's the reason why. I'm presuming you're phased, right? If you are, then please, are you able to leave the lobby? That would be beneficial, please, mate. Otherwise, we'll have to redo all the lobby and stuff. Let's see as 2 kicks. Oh! Link's piece goes off. Ooh, nearly flew right into the wall there, but luckily he avoids it. And he has avoided any damages as well, although his tyres are not going to be feeling too clean after that one. But let's see as the bird at the moment is going in. Wait, what's your username? Yeah, if you're phased Christian, yeah, you shouldn't be. You're not meant to be in the race tonight, mate. Let's go back. Russ the Boltland just about to start a lap as well. He's on an out lap and he's going just now. There's probably just a mistake from Willie, that's all. Don't worry, mate. Yeah, if you are able to, please do leave the race, though, mate. Taylor's meant to be in the race, though. So Willie does go up into 7th position. As we drop towards Destroyer Drac, and currently yet to set a time, and it looks like he's not moving around, so he does go up to 4th fastest. I will just stick with him just for a bit because I know he wanted me to check if he's lagging around. He looks okay though to me. Let's just confirm that as he enters into turn 1 and then turn 2. Yeah, his car looks fine. I think Jack's okay. If Jack is able to hear me now, I don't know. How long is left in the session? Got just over 5 minutes, Taylor. Just over 5 minutes. Right, so Deck just going through the turns 1, 2 chicane. Is it currently in P3, still behind the 2 kick Saubers. The bird, not, well, showing that he was not improving. Yet he's burning his battery. Is that just to get into the pits then, you wonder? Or is he going to try and complete this lap? He's burning all of his battery, but yeah, it's just to go to the pits. But he did not improve on his 1:19.6. That's Kesonator just about to start a lap. Kingy OG likewise. William going again as well. So we'll see what those drivers can do. I got Boy Knockout on an outlap. Destroyer Jack, of course. I think he has just ran out of fuel. No, you're welcome, Jack, mate. Good lap as well, by the way. Whilst you're here, good lap for sure. Up to 4th place for now. For Destroyer Jack. So we've still got Ardle in the pits. Coffee going round again. He's going to finish this lap. Is he going to go quickest? Coffee is up to P2. So Coffee splits the kick Saubers and goes 2nd fastest. Great effort there from the Alpine. And that will cause a headache for the kicks unless Link's piece can improve. But no clear suggestion that Lynx is going to improve, especially after that error that he did make just a few minutes ago. So he needs to be a bit careful if he can, and I'm sure he'll put the lap together as our Boy Knockout 5th place penalty. That's with the Mercedes there of Havoc Connor. That's very unfortunate because Havoc Connor P12. And as you can see, Havoc Connor's only on an outlap, so that's going to be frustrating for sure. Is that Boy Knockout? Where is he? Oh no, I'm on about the wrong driver. Oh, okay. So he was actually around the kick Sauber, it seems. That would have been the bird. I believe the bird and Boy Knockout. That's unfortunate for Boy Knockout though. That's for sure. Yeah, that was just a trial, mate. But if you are able to, please, though, are you able to leave the lobby, please, mate? Because, yeah, you're not meant to be in the race tonight, mate. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it, mate. So we're getting into the final couple of minutes of quali then. The bird is going to go. Who is still in the pits? We've got quite a few drivers in the pits. Coffee, second place at the moment, is still in the pits. Boy, knockout though. He has gone second fastest. What a splendid time from him. DD Friend is improving, so he will go quicker. Where will DD Friend punch his Red Bull? It's up to P13 for DD. He's got his teammate Kesonator just behind, but Kesonator has unfortunately invalidated. He's into the pit, so it will be a P17 grid slot for Kesonator, just ahead of PRV Widget. Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate. Have a good one. You as well, man. Let's see what King EOG can do on this run. It's a 1:20.9. Only P16 though for King EOG. And how long is left in the session? Because he's in a bit of trouble. Just over a minute to go. He's not going to get back round. So King EOG is going to start P16. As our Coffee, currently P3, retires from the session then. So let's go up the field. Let's go. Where's the Haas at the moment? We've got Merck just about to go for a lap. I reckon I know what's coming up here. Look, they're all wanting some form of slipstream. Ardle's going for it from a Mercedes. Who is that? Is that Havoc Connor? No, it's Taylor. So Taylor in the Mercedes. But this could be a problem here. Are they starting too close towards Taylor to a point where they may go quicker? They don't want to close up too much. They don't want to go into a position where you have to overtake. The bird then goes 1:19.573. Is this a problem though for these drivers in the midst of this battle? As the Haas sort of moving around a little bit, I cannot lie. That would be Ardle. Let's see what happens here. I mean, Taylor's in no reason for him to move out of the way, by the way. As Boy Knockout second also retires from the session. We're going to go quickly up the field towards Havoc Connor. But Havoc Connor is improving, goes P12. Merck is going to be one of the next drivers. Let's drop down King UG into the pits. We saw the bird improve to remain pole, but what about his teammate? Link's Peace back to racing, and it's only 4 fastest for him. Deck goes 5th, so those two then not doing enough to break the top 3. Ardle not improving. What about Merck to the line? He goes up to P9 ahead of Bam. So Merck rising a little bit up the field. What about these drivers though? Because Taylor, and yeah, I think Ardle just got too close in the end to Taylor to the point where he could not improve on his lap. That's got to be what's happened. Taylor then to the line. It's P14 for Taylor. The strategy has not been successful for Ardle. He was improving, but there was no reason for Taylor to move out of the way, and he obviously hasn't. So that's clearly damaged Ardle more than anything. But then again, did it have any impact on Taylor? That would be the big question, because he did get remarkably close to him, I have to say. As our Bam heads into the pits, and that means the bird hangs on to that prestigious pole position here at Monza. Another quali pen. This game's broken, I'm sure. Yeah, boy knockout, I know, it's mad. Turn 1 crash. I think it's very possible, Casanova, yes. I think the chances are likely that something will happen at turn 1. Hopefully not, though, fingers crossed. But I think there are... yeah, the likelihood is pretty strong. But either way, qualifying is completed, and as you can see, the bird hangs on to take pole. There you go, the full qualifying classification. Then the bird from Boy Knockout, an amazing lap from him to go second. but he will drop to P7 because Coffee will rise, Lynx will rise, Deck will rise, Jack will rise, and Ardle will start in P6 as well. Then it will be Boy Knockout, then it will be Rusterbolt, Merc, Bam in the top 10, and Willie, Parkour, Connor, Taylor, two Mercedes together, DD Friend, King OG, Kesonator, and PRV Widget as well. I'm staying out of it if there is one, says Kesonator. Yeah, best way to do it, mate. I'm sure something will happen, whether it's maybe a little bit late braking or braking a bit earlier, maybe going 2 or 3 wide into turns 1, 2. That seems to be what's going to happen. But yeah, I have reading in the Discord. I don't know if Ardle's listening to the stream. I can guarantee you, Ardle, that Taylor was on a lap and he did improve anyway. So I think in the end, I think you just started your lap a little bit too close to someone. Maybe from a bit of an experience in terms of being in the league where you haven't raced with the drivers before, so you won't necessarily know who the quickest is. I can tell you who the quickest is. It's probably the bird in tonight's race anyway. Good evening to Grand in the chat as well. So yeah, we are doing a 5-minute break as per usual, and then we'll be getting the show on the road in a few minutes' time. They were on a lap. Yeah, they were on a lap, mate. Oh, you're Ardle. There you go. Yeah, they were on a lap, mate. That's at 100% here. And what time should we ready up? Because it's probably been a couple of minutes now. I'm going to say 33. There you go. 20:33 is the time we'll ready up, so it'll be in about just under 4 minutes' time. Obviously, the 5-minute break, and it did start about a minute or so ago. Yeah, I realised that, mate. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to ask me who the quickest drivers are, I could probably say to you, but then again, there are some shocks every time. Like Boy Knockout got second place tonight in quali. That wouldn't be a typical driver that I would expect to qualify as high as P2. So yeah, also I've never done a 100% race. Probably more difficult as well because it's realistic cars. So I think your best bet would be to try and get slipstream of somebody who is in another slow car, if that makes sense, because then you know they're more likely to be a stronger driver. So, for example, the two Kick Saubers are most likely going to set a strong time in qualifying. Outside of Kick Sauber, you've obviously got your teammate Merc, you've got Williams, you've got Alpine, possibly the V Carbs as well. But yeah, certainly those 4 or 5 sort of teams are the ones that you'll probably want to use a slipstream from if you're going to try and use it at all. But as I said, you might get some surprise sort of options up there. Boy Knockout again. Fantastic lap from him. Second, but only qualifies P7 sadly because of his 5-place penalty. Is DD Friend reserve or full time tonight? He's reserve, mate. He is reserve. Yeah. Oh, there you go. DD Friend just confirmed it anyway. Yes, DD Friend is reserving. Who knows if he wants to be in the seat full time? You know what to do. Just give me a shout and I can do that for you. But yeah, I am going to be back. I'll be back in about a minute's time. Right, I am back then. So we are moments away from starting this race. I am just going to start preparing to send a message out. Oh, there you go. It's hit 20:33. So that means only one thing. That means drivers can now ready up for the race. Be careful into turns 1/2. Absolutely. Be careful to turns 1/2. I have to make that clear. Because again, knowing it's Monza. Turns 1 and 2 always seems to be a sticking point, doesn't it? Right, let's see then. A 10-second countdown has begun as, yes, 4 drivers from Alpine camp here. Yes, indeed, yes, Jack. Couldn't name them exactly right now, but I probably can once we get into the race. Right, here we go then. This is UFRL. This is the 100% realistic cast here. 18 on track. 5 red lights. They go out. Out it is go, go, go with the bird at the front of the field. The kick Sauber off links trying to draw alongside. But Coffee takes advantage and takes the initiative. Coffee to turn 1 and 2 as the bird goes off. The bird with a 3-second time penalty. He has gone straight off at turn 1. Massive pen. Enter Link's piece. And Links is up into the top 2. But Coffee with a masterful getaway. But Links draws alongside or tries to. But Coffee remains in the lead. The bird has had a very unsuccessful getaway. It is a fairly clean start from what we have seen, however. They're just going to drop down the field, parkour, destroy a drag, side by side, squirmy the Alpine, but with the Aston Martin, still side by side they go, off track, goes parkour, but they are still going side by side. We're going to have to drop back, well, rise up the field again, because Link's piece this time overtakes Coffee and emerges into the race lead. Deck in P4 from Ardell, Point Knockout and Merck, your top 7 all close together here. And it's been a frantic getaway, but a pretty competitive one where no driver has really severely lost out, that's for sure. They're all sticking together. So we're just going to stick at the front of the field for now as the likes of Kesenator, Widget and DD will face battle. But here we go with Coffee now under pressure from the 2 kick Saubers. Link's piece and the bird. The bird wants to go for the race lead. He's attacking his teammate. And side by side got the kicks. A late move from the Aston of Boy Knockout further back as well. But it is Link's piece into the lead. The bird scrapping now with Deck. So Deck has overtaken Coffee. And Deck around the outside he goes. Attacking the bird. Has he got the move? Yes, he has. Deck's up into P2. He's on the inside. Deck takes the race lead. Unreal. Deck on lap 2 has gone from 4th to 1st in a few corners in one sector alone. Deck leads the Monza Grand Prix and it is mighty stuff from him. And around the 2 Lesmos we go. And now we head all the way up into Ascari. But Deck has had a strong getaway and he takes the lead of the race. The tyre situation, mediums and hards all round for all 18 drivers. But Deck, Links and the bird on the top 3 with Coffee, Knockout, Ardell, Merck and even everyone else all the way down to, well, pretty much the whole field. Still mostly together here at Monza, and we are getting DRS now as well, so DRS all the way down into turn 1 for the Link's piece and for the bird as well. The Deck has pulled a gap at 0.6 of a second, so he's had a mighty start, but now drivers can start to push with him. Bam, 23.7 right there with a strong lap time, fastest lap as well. Wow, well played Bam there. Kesenator 10-second speeding penalty, but side by side going the bird with Deck. The bird goes round the outside, he takes Deck, and the bird now takes the lead, but again, he does have a 3-second time penalty to boot. What about Coffee? He's going to have a little look. Can he go in or out? But again, look at the cluster of cars here. Link's also making a move on the inside of Deck, and the kick Sauber now up into 2nd position. Oh, what's happened to Parkour? Parkour dropping down like a fly, and Parkour. Oh, Parkour's beached it. Parkour, if you're listening, you can. As we've got a virtual safety car, you can do something. Reset the track. I know you're beached. Reset the track. Someone has to shout at her. Reset the track, Parkour. You have to. You won't get a penalty. There you go. There you go. I'm glad you've listened. You won't get a penalty for it because you were clearly beached. Make sure you clip it, though. Just make sure you clip it if anyone asks. You are allowed to do it if your car is beached and you don't get a penalty. You've done it in a sensible place as well, so you won't get a penalty for that. Just make sure you clip it though, just in case. But I'm glad in the end you did listen. Hopefully people were shouting at you. I don't know if they were. So as you can see, virtual safety car, the first one this evening. But parkour was absolutely beached there. By the way, for reset the track, you're not normally allowed to do it, but you are allowed to do it if you're beached onto a curb. Oh, the bird drive through penalty! What a rookie error from the kick Sauber. Oh my gosh! The bird, who picked up a very unnecessary 3-second time penalty round at turns 1 and 2 on lap 1 alone, has now picked up a drive-through penalty. He ain't going to be leading the race for much longer. He may even pit on this lap, and this is going to be a cause for real concern to the bird if he wants to win again. And it's a massive chance for the likes of Lynx and Deck, who are pulling a gap on the drivers behind. Big chances now for these drivers. Lynx Peace flies past the bird and takes a lead as the bird slots into second and will cover off Deck on the inside line. And this is a tactic here from the bird. He's certainly trying to fend off Deck. He's trying to keep Deck behind. Deck knows what he's trying to do though. Deck has made a move on the bird. The bird is going to try to attack Deck. They are going to go side by side through the parabolica, keeping it close. Deck is going to be ahead because the bird, I'm sure, is going to box, surely. He's not. Interesting tactic there for the bird. He's chosen not to pit, which is interesting. I thought he would have done. You don't want a safety car now if you're the bird, but either way, look at this again. They're trying to battle all together. But Deck takes advantage. He takes the place of Lynx, and now he goes up to P1. Ardle further back, squabbling with Boy Knockout as well, but it is Deck from the 2 kicks. Coffee is hanging on behind as well with the Alpine. Further back, Bolt through on Willie Fernandez and up into 9th position now. So Ruster Bolt trying to gain some places back. Let's go up. And have a look at the position changes. As you can see, Merck and Parkour have since had a pit, as has Kesonator as well. Let's go back up towards Boy and Knockout. Actually, might have to drop back potentially to King EOG, who's closing in on Taylor. But we're just going to keep with the Aston Martin here, closing in on Ardle, making a move on Ardle. 3-second time penalty to Kesonator in the Red Bull as well. But let's stick with Boy and Knockout, and he's trying to close the gap towards Coffee. Coffee has lost the DRS from the top 3. Speaking of the top 3 now, the bird is through on Lynx. The bird is attacking down the inside. He was having a look on Deck there. Is he going to pit now? Don't forget, he has to pit within 3 laps. This is the 2nd lap, and he has pitted now. So he was trying to help his teammate, it looks like. But he is serving that drive-through penalty that he received on lap 4. Oh, what's that? As a Haas off track. That's Ardle. Side by side now with Destroyer Drac. He's got the inside line. It's super close, but looks like Drac has got... Oh! Squirmy exit there from Ardle. Is he going to hang on to the position ahead of Boy Knockout? Maybe just about. I think he's hanging on to it. Boy Knockout has to just stay in behind there, but Ardle hanging on to a place in the top 5 now. As our PRV widget overtakes Havoc Connor for the battle further adrift. We're just going to stick on board with this little cluster of cars. Drac, Ardle and Boy Knockout. They're looking to close the gap towards that top 3 now. Deck, Lynx and Coffee has got back within a second as well. So good news for UFRL Coffee on the podium now, following that drive-through penalty from the bird. The bird finds himself in 15th position. So the Kick Sauber has a lot of work to do in this Grand Prix now. As you can see, still a lot of drivers working together or trying to fight it out or whatever they may be trying to do. Put a gap if they can, but Deck fast lap with a 1:23.416. But now we're going to quickly have a look up. Actually, we may just drop completely down. We are going to, because Ardle will try and make a move on the inside of Destroyer Drac. He's going to go side by side with Destroyer Drac. And they are still side by side there. Great racing between the bearing. There's a little bit of contact, it looks like. But Jack has lost out. Jack has just lost out to his teammate, Boy Knockout. So Boy Knockout is up into 5th place now. He can take the charge and attack Ardle here. Got to watch out as well for the likes of the Bird and Merc. See if they can gain some time on the cars ahead of them. The likes of DD, Connor. Those two are without any DRS as well as our parkour. 2 seconds back from Kesonator for the battle for 17th. So we're still yet to see a full course safety car. We've had a virtual. That virtual safety car came out after a few laps. I think lap 3 to lap 4 it came out. But since disappeared, of course, and that's when the Bird received his drive-through penalty, having been leading the race as well. And he still has that 3-second penalty, which is going to stay with him until the end of the race. So the Bird, well, if he can win from here, it's going to be a stunning drive from the Kick Sauber. As Link's Piece 23-2 looks like they have just cleared Coffee as well. We are going to quickly move up because they are going to battle it out, and Lynx has taken deck. Now we're going to go towards this battle. The Aston Martins, both of them are following through. As you can see, so Boy Knockout and Jack bypassing Ardle and both into the top 5 now. As you can see there on board with Ardle, we're going to back up towards the top 2 as they are going side by side. Deck now overtaking Lynx. I think the fact that they were side by side will bring Coffee back into play because they are still going side by side. So Link's Piece really bringing the fight to Deck, not making it an easy ride for the Williams here. Link's Piece doing everything he can to make it challenging, and all that's done is brought Coffee back into play. Coffee on the podium. Is he looking at a potential 100% tier race win? Well, he certainly joined this battle, which is brilliant for the Dutchman in his hopes for a win, but I think he'll love a podium. But right now, he must be thinking about somehow winning this race because he has had a fantastic start to the Grand Prix. I know he's lost a place, but still, he's on the podium when you've got, you know, Deck, Lynx, you've got the Bird, you've got Merc, Bolt all in the race, Ardle. So, you know, he's done a splendid job. Back to the tyre situation as well. So you've got the top 2 on mediums. Coffee is on hards as well, might I add. So the fact he's on hards, yet he's in this DRS train. Wow. He has done a brilliant job. So we are going to quickly just drop back then. Widget and Connor, they've been going at it a little bit for the last few laps. And Widget back up into 12th place now ahead of Havoc Connor. We're going to go up towards this little cluster of cars here. Again, we're going to return to this. The 2 Aston Martins are really trying to fend off Ardle. And this could be really promising points for the team of Aston Martin. Not just in the Drivers' Championship, but they've got to be thinking about the Constructors as well. A double top 5 finish for Aston Martin. Wow, that will be amazing for their Constructors' Championship ambitions. And this will put them back in with a shot. And maybe put a bit of pressure even on the Kick Saubers. Ardle, 3-second penalty. So Ardle in 6th place. He's the highest driver of a penalty. And we are going to go back up towards Coffee then, as he's within a few tenths of Lynx. Deck is almost clear of Lynx. He was almost a second away, but Lynx Piece hanging on. Coffee, though, may go for the move now. What does Coffee do here? I think he's hanging in behind. I think Lynx Piece there has not got his rear wing open. Lynx Piece did not get a DRS. He's made a bit of a mistake there over the turn 2 curb, which forces Coffee to go alongside. He is alongside. Coffee, is he going to make a move here? He's got the inside line, and has he got it together? They are still going at it, but Coffee drops in behind. But this is brilliant for Deck now, who has got a 1.3 second gap, or 1.2 rather, over Lynx and Coffee. Let's just drop back a little bit, have a look at this little battle. We've got Bam, Bolt, William, Kingy and Taylor all involved, just outside of the top 10. But this 5-car battle right up to 7th. And now a move has been made here. Coffee overtakes Lynx for a knockout and Destroyer Jack going side by side. Jack drops in behind, Boy Knockout rises up to 4th, and further back has Bam held onto the place. Yes, he has. Further back, Kingy OG on the inside of Willie Fernandez compromises the exit for Willie. Willie is going to be under attack now from Taylor. Taylor uses a battery, and Taylor flies past the McLaren, so Taylor is into the top 10 now. He does make a nice move there, and he rises up into the top 10 again. No, all the drivers do get points for their for whatever position you finish the race in. As long as you finish the race, you will get points. That's why I'm having a look here. Rusted Bolt not going for the move there, but Ardle back through this time on Destroyer. Drac up into 5th place. Thank you, Cannon, for the link. Very much appreciated. That's Bam and Rusted Bolt going side by side, and it is Rusted Bolt who's just ahead, but they're still going at it. Enter in Taylor. He just bypassed Willie. He's bypassed Kingy OG. Taylor trying to get another one, maybe another 2. What's he doing here, Taylor? He's trying to get something. He's going to go side by side, but he's just lost out to Bolt. Willie Fernandez with a 3-second penalty in this battle as well, and it's allowing the likes of Connor and Widget back into play as well, down to 13th place now. And who's after that? You've got the Bird after that, who's 4 seconds back, so the Bird may very soon be on the rear of this battle up to 7th place. And that is exactly what the Bird would want. He will not be too far away from the race leader even, at his deck of course. But right now you feel like those two drivers, Coffee and Lynx, they can't afford to be battling each other. They need to work together to get away. Well, not to get away, but to pull in deck. That's what they need to do. So we're back on here with Destroyer Drac then, who's having a look on Ardle. Lynx Piece does get through on Coffee. Drac will overtake Ardle as well. And Drac back into the top 5 now. So again, the two Aston Martins certainly trying to do whatever they can to stop Ardle from getting a strong result. Rusted Bolt now through on Bam. Bolt into the top 7. Taylor alongside. He just loses out. It's got a bit wide. And it compromised the exit of Willie Fernandez. Oh, that's that. Kingy OG. Kingy OG, speaking of wide, Kingy OG could not go any wider as Taylor now under attack from his own teammate, from Willie Fernandez as well. Here comes Havoc Connor. Connor, has he got the move done? Has he made it stick? Yes, he has. And Havoc Connor is up into the top 10 now. Just as Taylor was finding his feet, he has lost a couple of places. And look who's up into 9th. PRV Widget is into 9th place. A remarkable drive from the McLaren now. He's ahead of the 2 Mercedes. Widget is putting on a strong show here. Lynx Piece then still ahead of Coffee, but they are still losing time to deck. The gap 1.7 seconds. I think Lynx Piece there went into no battery mode, which is just going to allow for deck to pull further clear. I mean, I'll be amazed if Lynx Piece is trying to settle for P2. He can't be doing that. He needs to go all in for the win, especially on a race where the Bird has got a 3-second penalty. He's had a drive-through penalty as well. It's a massive chance for someone like a Lynx or a Coffee or even Deck, who's obviously leading. They've all got a massive chance of a great result here. Further down, Willie Fernandez now ahead of Taylor. Again, Taylor now just starting to fall a bit backwards in this race. Losing out and dropping to P12. Kingy OG still there. And look who is in the picture. The kicksab of the Bird is just 2 seconds behind. As Kingy OG now gains the place on Taylor. Taylor really losing places. Has he got damage at all? Because he has lost out again, this time to Kingy OG, down to P13 now. As I will mention, Coffee has got the gap to Deck at 1.1 seconds, so he's closing in, that is for sure. We are going to go back up the field. We're going to go towards Havoc Connor. And as you can see, he gets through on the McLaren of Widget, so Connor now up into 9th place. I don't think Widget had any DRS, actually he did, but still Havoc Connor finding his way through and trying to close the gap towards Bolt, and Bam doesn't want to allow those two to pull the clear. The Bird is almost a second behind Taylor, and I'm sure he's going to burn a bit of battery here just to try and get within a second. So we'll keep note of that one, that's for sure. We're going to rise back up towards the 2 Aston Martins, working together, the 2 Astons, and they are working together extremely well. Destroyer, Jack and Boy Knockout. Jack up to 4th, Knockout 5th, Ardle stuck behind a pair of them in P6. And the issue for Ardle at the moment If he burns his battery just to overtake one Aston Martin, he won't have enough battery in the next lap to stay ahead of that Aston Martin. So that is his problem right now. As our King UG then has the Bird for company. So the Bird has now entered. The Bird overtakes Kingy. So the Bird has made a big move now. He's started to gain a bit of time. And this is exactly what the Bird will try and do. That he wants to make a move now on Taylor. Taylor has not got DRS from the likes of the two McLaren. So a good chance right now for Taylor to try to hold the place. But the Bird wants to take some places. We may go up the field towards Boy Knockout, but again, it looks like the two Aston Martins are doing enough to fend off Ardle for now. Let's go back up towards Havoc Connor then. Just behind Bam. Bam's still there with Ruster Bolt, but Havoc Connor now gaining on Bam. He's going to go for the move on Bam as well. He's doing it as they all head all the way up into Parabonica. Round the bend they'll go at Parabonica, and it is Havoc Connor who not quite making a move, but he does try to get a little bit of a switch back. Again, he'll try to draw alongside. Boy Knockout through on Jack in 4th place. Coffee 1.7 back from deck now. But Havoc Connor not making a move on Bam. The Bird does fly past Taylor. The Bird up into P12 now. Still in search for the first safety car. 15 laps completed out of 53. As Parkour receives a 3-second time penalty in the Alpine. And the Bird now makes a move on Willie Fernandez. So the Bird up at a P11 already is on the cusp of the top 10 now. And set to purple sector 1 for the Bird. We'll put the lap data on as well. And you can also see when we're on that driver what tyre they are on as well in the top right of your screen. We may have to go up the field. Let's go up then towards the two Aston Martins. Just about still doing well to keep Ardle behind them. It has to be said. Coffee has cleared Lynx as well. So Lynx Peace even is not able to keep up with Deck or Coffee. Wouldn't have thought that would be the case. But that is the case in this race, sadly for Lynx. He's not been able to keep up with those top two. As Boy Knockout will lose out to Destroyer Jack. Ardle still just settling in behind. Maybe just thinking, you know what, I can sort of work with the two Aston Martins. We won't lose too much time if I do that. Then Bolt, Bam and Havoc Connor, PRV Widget, the Bird will be next to try and pull through. But look at this. Look at this. On the inside goes Bam, but he makes a bit of a mistake. A bit of an error for Bam. But he just about stays ahead of Bolt. But that allows for the Bird and Willie Fernandez to recover and get back in. Russell Bolt pulls alongside Bam. He is going to make a move, is he? He's got the inside line now. Is it enough for him to make it stick? And it is going to be close. Still going together. Bolt with Bam. Bolt has just about edged ahead. And that allows for Connor to enter in. Widget and the Bird, Willie Fernandez. Look at them. They're all together. Parkour is out in the pit lane. But we are going to go on with the Bird, because we know this man can make some big moves. And he is going to put the pressure on PRV Widget for a place in the top 10. Oh, the Bird there almost losing the car. A little bit of a snap. Just trying to recover it, but does well to avoid Widget as our Parkour leaves session as well after that DNF in the pit lane. But the Bird here as the two ahead go side by side. Bolt with Bam again. Fighting it out round at the Parabonica, and they'll go over the line pretty much neck and neck, but entering Havoc Connor. Then you've got the Bird. Don't rule out the kick Sauber. The Bird gets through a Widget. The Bird is up at the top 10. The Bird is going to go for overtakes. The Bird is going for a massive overtake. He's completed a pass on every single driver. The Bird is into 7th position. He bypasses Bolt, Bam, Connor and Widget on one single straight. That is formidable from the Kick Sauber. He has given himself a chance now at getting a race win even. Do not rule him out. There's a safety car. It's a massive chance for the Bird to get back in the race. And he is clearly showing some impressive pace here tonight. Let's get the tyre situation back on. He's on hard, so forget. So the hard tyres will begin to work for him as well. So that is exactly what he wants to be doing here. A couple of drivers at the back. Merck is sort of getting closer towards DD Friend, to be fair. 5.5 seconds back. Merck will certainly still be hoping for a safety car, as will Kesenator. Havoc Connor, 3-second time penalty. Willie Fernandez makes a move on his teammate Widget, and Willie Fernandez up into 11th for two McLarens potentially working together. Oh, getting closer between the two Aston Martins. They are closing in on Lynx. They can't afford to battle too much and lose time, though, to Lynx. And to be fair, even though they were almost side by side there, they haven't lost too much time to the Kick Sauber. And as you can see, though, Ardle has began to close the gap. Russell Bolt pits then. He's onto fresh, hard tyres now. Is Bolt thinking that undercut can get him to the end of the Grand Prix? I will mention as well that the Bird has been signed officially by the Ferrari Tier 1 team today alone. So the Bird will be racing in Tier 1 from Monday onwards. And as you can see, 7th place. He's well clear now of the pack behind him. That was the pack that he was closing in on. And look how clear he is now ahead of them. As Havoc Connor through on Bam and up to 8th place. But the Bird signing for the Ferrari Tier 1 team, of course. So we'll see what he can do alongside UFRL Merck. Merck currently down a P15 after what may have been an incident potentially between Merck and Parkour through the early stages. Oh! Connor sort of turned in a bit early there, I think. Maybe not expecting Bam to go for the overtake. I'll be honest, it was a surprising move from Bam. Got to factor in there. I mean, when Bam goes for the overtake, round Parabolica, if you're going to go side by side there, it's going to cost you a bit of time as well, which kind of negates the DRS factor as well. Side by side further back almost as Taylor rides over the curve. Willie Fernandez holds on to a top 10 place. But Widget is effectively a top 10 right now because all of them ahead have time penalties. As our Widget now making a move on Taylor this time as he made it stick there side by side. But Widget just edges out Taylor. A bit of contact between the pairing. But Widget up into 11th place. We're going to rise up towards Boy Knockout then. Look how close he is now on the rear of Link's Peace. The two Aston Martins, well, they've not been battling each other too much over recent laps, and you can clearly see it's working in favour of the two Astons. Havoc Connor, meanwhile, making a move on Bam up into 8th place. Bam, however, will get DRS out of the Parabolica into turn 1. But let's see, here's a Kick Sauber, that's Link's Peace. Link's Peace, 10-second penalty! 10-second time penalty for the Kick Sauber of Link's Peace. Not good news for him, unfortunately. Destroyer Jack still there ahead of Boy Knockout and Ardle as well. But that is a massive penalty. The two Kick Saubers. I mean, yes, the Bam has picked, well, not Bam, the Bird rather has picked up massively on pace. That drive-through penalty may still cost him a chance at a win if there are no safety cars in this race. No safety cars, and that could really damage the Bird's chances. But then again, if there is a safety car, say now, it's going to box for what you'd imagine to be mediums. Can he take mediums 33 laps? That's going to be tricky. That is going to be tricky. I mean, a couple of medium drivers, obviously Bolt and also Lynx now, have already pitted for hards. So, if they can go 33 laps, that would be quite remarkable. So we're going back down the order towards Taylor, who is making a move now. Widget going round the outside on the McLaren, and Taylor will fly back through, and he's up into the top 10. So there you go again, another move being made, and finally into the pits then goes Deck. I thought for a moment he had been overtaken. He was losing time, to be fair to Coffee, who had got within the DRS range, but Deck now into the pits and will go hard, you imagine, to the end of the Grand Prix. And that is a crucial pit stop that we are just watching as well. Out of the pits he goes, and he will be, in comparison to anyone else, well, he's going to be ahead of everyone else who has pitted. Boy Knockout still yet to exit the pitch. You've got Link's piece coming up as well, but look, Deck is far ahead of Link. So, good stop from Deck there on the hard. He's now on the rear of this battle. But look at the bird. He is 6.6 seconds ahead of Bam. That is how much he has gained by on lows in that pack. That again, the bird, don't forget, had to overtake all of those cars. And he overtook 4 of those cars down the straight into turn 1 alone. So that is how much the bird has pulled away by, and how much pace the Kick Sauber truly has tonight. Again, looking mighty impressive. But after the mistakes of receiving the drive-through penalty and the 3-second penalty on lap 1 as well, within the opening few laps, he made 2 big errors, the bird, and that may end up costing him a potential win in this Grand Prix. As Deck here, as you can see, trying to make a move on PRV. Widget pulls out of the slipstream, and he will make a move. Widget, to be fair to him, does not fight it, and Deck up into 8th place. We got the field towards Bam and Connor. These two have been scrapping for a large part of this Grand Prix as well. We've also got Merck now. He's caught up to the rear of DD Friend. Merck wanting to get up into 13th position. Russell Bolt was already pitted. He's not far back, as you can see. Bam has passed Havoc Connor. Let's go back on with Declan, because right now Deck will have greater and far more superior traction at the corners. And as you can see, we are heading up towards the Lesmos, and he has made a move. So yeah, he's done well. He has done well here, Deck. Up into 7th for now. Link's Pete is a couple of seconds from this group. Although Widget's starting to be dropped a little bit. I'm sure he'll get back in. But Deck is your net race leader in this race. But if there's a safety car now, his net race lead will be under threat from Coffee. Oh, what's happened? Yellow flags for DD Friend. Is that going to result in a safety car? It does not look like it. It's going to save the grace for Deck. No safety car after whatever happened, unfortunately, to DD Friend. And as you can see, oh my god! Oh my gosh! Deck in there with the 2 Mercedes of Connor and Taylor. Feisty stuff between the trio. And now they're going to go all guns blazing here. Down the straight into turn 1. Who is going to get ahead? You've got Bam, Deck, Taylor, Connor and Willie Fernandez. Look at the Mercedes of Taylor. He wants to make an overtake. But is he able to? No, he's not. They have to back out of it. Deck, however, is up at a 5th place. And I've got to say, plenty of aggression on that move in bypassing the 2 Mercedes. But he has made a move nonetheless. Next up will be Bam. And that'll be for Deck to move up into 4th place. The bird will know exactly what's occurring here. He knows that Deck is still the net race leader. But who knows, if there's a safety car, anything can happen. Only 4 drivers on the mediums yet to pit. Bam, Willie Fernandez, Widget and DD Friend. Kesene will also need to pit again, as Deck now gets a move on Bam. How wise was that move? Taylor, however, on the inside of Bam. They are side by side. Bam runs off. Bam goes off track. What's happening here is Bam and Havoc Connor. Well, the question would have to be then is, could that be grounds for potential unsafe rejoin? Well, what's happening here? Oh my gosh, look how many cars together. You'd think it's like some sort of formation lap where they're all just trying to shake hands or something. They're not. They're really not. As I into the pits in the background goes a McLaren. It looks like Willie Fernandez. Indeed it is. But Taylor and Deck have both pulled clear of this. Deck now into 4th place. He's miles ahead. But look at this. It's a 5-way battle. Anything can happen here. Anything can happen here. That was close. They did make a bit of contact there. It looked like Boy Knockout. It looked like Widget. It looked like Lynx. There are yellow flags. And I don't even know where the yellow flags were, because they have very quickly disappeared. Willie Fernandez opting to go for the hard tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. So, what is the gap between Lynx and Deck? Lynx piece currently is about 6 seconds behind Deck. And as you can see, he's having a look on the inside of Widget, not making a move, but he will get DRS here. To be fair to Widget, not fighting it, letting Lynx go. Lynx moves up into 8th position now. Let's go up towards Boy Knockout. Oh, Boy Knockout with a superior exit compared to Havoc Connor. And that means Boy Knockout is up into 6th position. So he does get through on Havoc Connor. I've got to say, there's been some tremendous racing out there tonight. Hopefully it continues to the very end. We are getting through into the halfway stage as well. But the racing in general has been very, very good tonight. Going side by side through multiple corners, although you've only got 10 of them in total. But still, you know where I'm getting at. Been some good racing. Good stuff so far from the drivers. Hopefully it continues through until the end of the race as well. The two Mercedes have been in a lot of battles. The two Aston Martins have been involved in a lot. The two Kick Saubers, they both made mistakes in the race with penalties, but they're trying to find their feet. Deck, however, looks the one to beat here. Deck in the Williams has pitted, and as you can see, he's 5 seconds ahead of Boy Knockout. And again, I've just realised Boy Knockout is doing a great job because look, he is clear of Lynx as well, and Ardle. So you've got Coffee, you've got Drac and the Bird in the top 3, all yet to pit in this race. They're all on hard, so they're not going to be pitting just yet. They're going to wait a few laps and then they're going to be looking at pit stops. Who knows, the Bird may even try and risk it and stay out and hope for a safety car. That could be a possibility for the Kick Sauber. As our Lynx piece now makes a move on Havoc Connor, he's up into 7th. He has got DRS as well on Taylor, who has also got DRS off Boy Knockout, so Lynx will have to wait a little bit longer to get through on the Mercedes here. And Ardle 22.5, fastest lap length for the Haas, currently in P9. Merck also has pitted, but he will have to pit again. Those hards will most likely not take him to the end, unless he tries to risk it maybe. It depends. Does he feel like he can take hards to the end and not going to be in a very strong condition? He really does need a safety car. As you got Taylor here, but Lynx piece is trying to make a move, and is he going to make it? Side by side, Lynx with Taylor, side by side still! And there you go, Lynx piece just edges ahead, and that allows for Taylor's teammate Connor to make a move on him. But here comes Taylor, tries to fight it back. But Havoc Connor holds it together, and Connor stays 7th place. Taylor under attack now from Ardle. What can Ardle do in this situation? Ardle has already pitted, don't forget. Yellow flags for Merck. Merck has got yellow flags. He is back in it though, so he's not got a safety car. He's certainly hoping for one. He's certainly hoping that a safety car arises. If we get a safety car, it will bring him. It will certainly bring the Bird back into play as well, to be fair. A safety car would change everything. It would give Coffee a massive opportunity as well. But let's stick on with this, because these guys are all going to be battling Ardle, making a move on Taylor. More yellow flags. I think it's Merck again. Merck's... oh, the Red Bull's gone straight on. I think that was Kesenator. I don't think there's a big issue there for Kesenator. And Merck seems to have gotten back underway. But as you can see there, so Connor has also been passed by Ardle. Ardle up into 7th place now. Look at him. He's only a second back from Lynx. So I imagine that will be a track limits warning. Oh, what's happened here? Merck is really struggling on this lap. Oh my, wow. Really is struggling on this lap, I have to say. Really is. Let's go back up the field then. There's Coffee at the moment. Got him ahead of Destroyer Jack. Woody Fernandez just ahead of Merck now. Ardle 3-second penalty. So we did say he looked like he had got a track limits warning not too long ago. We got a safety car. A full course safety car has happened. As all the Birds with a 10-second penalty. Both Kick Saubers have been hit with a 10-second penalty in this race. Wow. So as you can see, got the safety car. So what does this do for everyone? Boy Knockout, 10-second penalty. Merck retires from the Grand Prix. But Coffee, well, Coffee is in a fantastic position. The Bird is in a... well, he's in a good position, but 10-second penalty, unfortunately. He may pit again just to get rid of a 10 seconds. And he has shown very strong pace in this race, as he typically does. It was bam, span off. Oh, what? Do you mean the yellow flags when I didn't know who got out the yellow flags? Ah, okay. I'm presuming that's what it was. So right, whilst we've got the safety car low, I will mention again, we are live across both platforms tonight, Twitch and TikTok. The Twitch is UFRL Formula 1 again. It is the number 1, not the letter. So UFRL Formula 1. And then the TikTok, UFRL _ F1. So that is what you need to do. And again, I do have the chat up for both as well. So if you do want to put a comment in, feel free. As okay, so it was about bam. Oh, the Bird, did you just get a drive through penalty? I think I just saw that. Just as I had a look. Yes, he has. I mean, I think this is the Bird's worst race that I've seen from him. He's had amazing pace. I won't put that straight there, but excluding the amazing pace from the Bird, he has made massive blunders in this race. Let's see what he does now. Is he retiring from the race, or does he just want to get rid of a 10 seconds? Well, he's in the pit lane long enough without retiring, so I think he is just genuinely going to serve his 10-second penalty. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Bird can recover. The Bird can genuinely recover. And it would not shock me, even though he's got a drive-through penalty still. Let's say we go all the way to the end of the race without another safety car or a virtual. The Bird can still probably get a comfortable top 10 finish, I reckon. He has been mighty quick tonight. You saw when he was pretty much there with the battle, I think it was like Bam, you had Connor, those sort of guys in there, Widget, you had Willie Fernandez, Taylor. So yeah, when all of them were together, you saw how much the Bird gained on them by. I mean, his pace compared to them at that time was quite remarkable. And the way he got past 4 cars on one straight, I mean, that's a lot, obviously, with battery and stuff. But also, to hold the places and then to pull a massive gap on them. That is exactly what the Bird can do. And it wouldn't shock me again if he does get himself into the top 10. But he still has a time penalty of 3 seconds as well. As you can see, that is the penalty situation. So the safety car will be out for a minimum of 1 more lap. Who have we got? Kesonator. He's just joining. To be fair to Kesonator, I don't think he's in a position to be unlapped now. He's just going to be a bit too far back. If he was, say, just behind Coffee or just behind Drac, maybe he had a chance. But yeah, he's just a bit too far adrift, isn't he? Luckily for Willie Fernandez, he will be able to stay in the race. And yeah, no worries, Merc. Red rear wing damage. Wow. Ouch. You know, I haven't actually I've not had a red rear wing on this game yet. I think I've had I've experienced yellow, I think. Then again, when did I last experience a red rear wing on the game? I think it would have been on F122. And it may... I think there were 2. Oh, Willie Fernandez, 3-second penalty. I could tell he's trying to bolt his way around the track. He's obviously hoping we get another lap under the safety car. Because he ain't catching the safety car when he's half a lap behind it. Or over half a lap behind it. But, yeah, going back. I think I got a red rear wing once at Singapore. Because there was, under the safety car, a driver hit me. And then I got red rear wing. Oh, I did actually get one in a trial race at Brazil on F122 as well. It's all on F122. And Baku. I got Baku rear wing damage in a tier 2 race as well. I think actually that was Destroyer Drax debut in F1 as well. In F1, in UFRL. That was Destroyer Jack's first UFRL race, and that was at Baku. There was, I think it was hybrid. I think he spun through the castle section or hit the wall or something. So my teammate ARC Mickey, he broke to avoid hybrid. I avoided Mickey. I don't know if it was Jack behind me or if it was someone else. But as our links piece going to the pits. But the situation then was the car behind me couldn't react in time. They went into me, therefore I went into the car ahead of me, which was Mickey, by the way. Mickey got no damages at all, but I got I think I got did I get a little bit of front wing maybe, but I know I definitely got rear wing damage. And F122 rear wing damage, yeah, ouch, not ideal. I'll tell you. I think in both races I ended up DNFing as well. Baku. These were both in season 3. Baku I ended up retiring, I think. I think I pushed it too hard both occasions when I had the damage. Probably out of frustration, I guess, if anything. But yeah, I remember back then. I'm not surprised you got rear wing damage on F122. Traction was horror. It was, honestly. And that's even whether you were on a pad or whether you were on a wheel even. Even on a wheel, traction obviously didn't seem particularly great. I won't have experience myself from a wheel, but from obviously what I was seeing from drivers, what I heard from drivers, yeah, it wasn't great, was it? So the situation right now, we are going to get back underway. Thankfully, Willie Fernandez and Lynx, they've all caught up under the safety car, which is great news for them. Let's just make sure it is a valid green flag getaway as well for Coffee. I think that's Kesonator going off track. I think he is just letting a couple of cars go through. Bam! 10-second penalty for a collision with Widget. Interesting one, that. Well, I didn't quite see it, obviously. I mean, who knows? Might be able to get a view of it on the stream if I were to look later on. But I didn't see it, so I can't make any comment on it. As Coffee gets back underway. And we're going to make sure when he passes the line, yep, he will. So we're going to go away from the telemetry now and have a look. Also, we might just have a little look at the tyres whilst we're here. And as you can see, side by side there, looks like Drac going on with Deck. And this is what Coffee would want, because Coffee can now put a second clear. Deck does find his way through on Drac. So Deck up into P2 now. He could charge forward towards Coffee. So yes, Deck now up to P2. Don't forget, Deck was your race leader before all of this sort of thing happened. Obviously, I know he did sort of pit earlier, but he was the net race leader. But Coffee, since then, has gained the advantage with 1 lap fresher, medium tyres as well. But Deck up the field. DD Fred passes Willie Fernandez. DD up to 14th place now. So just back with Rusted Bolt closing in on, rather Boy Knockout closing on the Rusted Bolt as they head out of the Ascari and into the Parabolica now. So let's see anyone going for an overtake. Looks like Boy Knockout wants to take Rusted Bolt for 4th place here. It is Williams v Aston Martin. Not just for P4 but also for P2. Boy Knockout flies round the outside. Ardle also makes a move on King OG now. So Ardle up into 6th position. King OG, is he able to fight this one back? Deck within 2/10 now of Coffee, so he has not lost the DRS of the Alpine. A little bit of a slippery exit there from Rusted Bolt as well. Does bring Ardle into play. Ardle alongside Bolt. Don't forget Bolt. 15 laps on those hard tyres. Ardle alongside him. Ardle surely going to make the move stick. Still side by side. Bolt lifts off. And Ardle now up into 5th place then. So Ardle started to make some moves from this safety car restart. So we are just dropping back down towards King OG then. Himself and Rusterbolt on older tyres. You do want to be on as fresh tyres as possible. As you can see, all of those in the top 5 are on fresh tyres. But the only ones of those top 5 without a penalty are the podium sitters, Coffee, Deck and Destroyer Drac. It's further back as well, Bam and Widget trying to battle each other. The Bird after serving that drive through penalty back in 15th position now. So we'll have to watch out for him later on in the race. But let's move up the field then towards these top 3. Coffee, Deck and Destroyer Drac. Should be plain sailing this one for Deck to go for the overtake and take the lead away from Coffee. Boy Knockout 22-0 fast lap. And there you go, Deck down the inside on Coffee and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. One thing for certain is that Coffee cannot allow Deck to pull clear. Into the pits goes DD Fred as well, the Red Bull. We'll go for a fresh set of medium tyres to the end now. Oh, no, he won't. No, I won't. I lied. Sorry about that. DD Fred will not go for a fresh set of medium tyres to the end. He has retired from the Grand Prix. So we've still got 15 drivers to go. 2 of them retired in the pit. Actually, all 3 of them, rather, are retired in the pits, actually. DD, Merc and Parkour. Merc obviously had the rear wing damage. DD Fred and Parkour have both retired. Obviously, they may have had rear wing damage themselves. I don't know. Haven't been told anything of that. But yeah, let's go down. Have a Connor through on King UG. Connor now up into P7. But let's try and rise back up the field if I can. I will do now. Boy Knockout is on the... Look at that move on the interlock. Drac stays in behind, however. The first 80% of Footle was alright, but the last 20% was hard to judge well. Yeah, you're on wheel. Yeah. Makes sense, to be fair. It wasn't good, though, was it? The traction on F1 22. Much better on 23. And to be fair, 24's traction is also better than what it was on 22. That's for sure. Bam also making a move on Taylor. Bam up into 9th. Never mind that. He's back down to 10th. Side by side they actually go. Bam runs off track. Bam goes wide. Is he going to rejoin safely? It looks like he has done pretty much all he can to do so. And he will lose a place towards Link. So look at the 2 Kick Saubers. Both out of the top 10. So we've still got Bam on Link's pieces. He got himself a shot at doing something here. So our Kesonator's got blue flags rather. But let's see Bam here. We expect him to make a move now. And he is having a look on the inside of Link. So there you go. He gets through Bam on Link's piece. And both are on fairly older tyres than the crowd above them. So it's not looking good for Lynx here on his return to UFRL racing after a couple of weeks away. Down a P12 and not really in a good position to get some solid points here. I mean, he may get a top 10, but he's not going to be pushing much further up than that. As up the top lane, Deck, Coffee, side by side they go for the race lead once more. Our Boy Knockout also trying to get himself involved. Then he got Drac, but let's go on here. Oh, bit of touchy there between Deck and Coffee. Let's go with the pair of them. Will they go alongside? No, Deck stays ahead, but Coffee just slots in behind, knows that the place was not on there. A little bit of a mistake over from Boy Knockout, ran a bit deep ahead of his teammate Drac. The 2 Aston Martins still both in the top 4 with a fantastic race from the pair of them. So we are on board with Coffee then, behind Deck. Looks like he's just going to stay in behind Deck, also going in no battery, so and that's what happens when the red light flashes typically. Unless they burnt all their batteries, there are yellow flags for Kesonator in the pits. Bam also receiving a 3-second time penalty. He's just behind Widget, Taylor and Lynx in P12. But let's just stick up with the race leader, Deck, Coffee, Knockout and Drac, the 2 Astons. Are they about to try and take a double Aston Martin podium? More yellow flags still. This is for Kesonator again. Something seems to have happened to Kesonator. He's going remarkably slow. He is. These guys still battling. Look at the two Aston Martins. Somebody got damaged there. Something certainly seemed to have flicked up there. Is there damage on one of the Aston Martin cars? It's not looking particularly clear on the pictures I'm seeing. And they may just about be okay. There's no clear end plate damage, that's for sure. So just about seem to have escaped damages from whatever happened between them. But can they stick in the DRS of Deck and Coffee? If they can, then they are surefire to get themselves a double top 4 finish, maybe even a double podium if Deck or Coffee were to receive a 3-second penalty as well. More yellow flags. I think Keselnator, he does seem to be just letting everyone through at the moment. Currently in P15. He knows he'll take some points for a P15 finish anyway. Taylor now with a 3-second time penalty. Where is it? Penalties, there you go. Bam, 16 seconds in total in P11. You got Boylock out with 10, Ardle with 9, 6 seconds for Taylor and Winnie, 3 seconds for Connor, the Bird, and for Keselnator. So right now, Boylock out with 10 seconds. Well, sadly for him, a 3-second penalty to anyone on the podium is not going to do anything for Boylock out. Boylock out's chances of a podium are almost nil at this stage in the Grand Prix, but Deck has put in a blinder of a performance and is still leading the way ahead of Coffee. These two have been excellent in this Grand Prix, but the two Aston Martins, particularly Drac without any penalty, he is looking tasty right now. Good question. I can actually find it out. Let me have a look. I'll go to the Excel spreadsheet. Just a second. I'll try and keep watch whilst I can. I'm going to keep watch on this battle at the lead. Hopefully nothing happens further back. Bam is closing on Taylor. I think Bam's about to overtake Taylor, but I'm going to stick with this for now. Just whilst I do double check the 100% tier standings. So what's happening right now for it. So, I don't think the Bird's leading it. No, it's not. Rusterbolt is currently the leader. What is the situation? So Rusterbolt has the lead. He is 19 points ahead of the Bird. And then 24 points ahead of Merck. But Merck obviously is out of the race. Bam is out of the race. Bam is out of the race. Bam is retired. So that is game over for the V-Carb. But yes, at this moment in time, it is the situation where Bolt, LeBird and Merck are 24 points separating each other. Lynx and Deck even. Deck still has a bit of a chance himself. I'll get the tyres on. Yes, indeed I shall. And also, good evening, Piney Penguin. That's a solid name, isn't it? We're just going to stick on with this though. We may drop down towards Rusterbolt. We're just going to watch the timing screen there. He's about a tenth behind. We'll just actually drop behind. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's got Havoc Connor for company. He's got Connor for company. Connor going for the move on Bolt. Is he ahead of Bolt? No, they're still running side by side. Look how close it is between the trio. But as you can see, Bolt just edges ahead of Havoc Connor. And in P6 he goes. Let's go back up then towards Deck, Coffee, Drac and Boy Knockout. And all of this working together, particularly for the Aston Martins. There's actually a chance Boy Knockout could end up in 4th place in this race despite a 10-second penalty. And also, the Bird has not closed up as much as I thought he may have done. He's 12th place, but still got a pretty big gap to the cars ahead. And as you can see, Rusterbolt ahead of Ardle now. Connor, then you've got a bit of a gap back to Kingy and Widget. So this trio are trying to do something, but Bolt at the moment is the man who could get a top 4 finish by virtue of Boy Knockout's time penalty. You're welcome, Piney. You're welcome, mate. Let's go back up the field then towards Deck, Coffee, Drac and Boy Knockout here for the win. Still got 13.5 laps of racing remaining. They will try to take the mediums to the end. They will get the mediums to the end, but if there's a safety car, your best bet is to box. Whether it's softs or mediums to the end after that, well, it's up to you really. Keselnator has pitted for soft tyres meanwhile. If you're going to go for a fast lap point, you've got to finish in the top 10, so sadly Casadei pretty much won't be able to do that. But anyone who is in the top 10 right now may be thinking about a fast lap point. Who has currently got the fast lap, actually? It is currently the Bird, 21.4. It's not particularly surprising that he's got the fast lap. But he is the man at the moment in P12, so again he can still get points in this race, and he would get that additional point if he gets into the top 10. Oh, bit close there. Deck, I think he made a little mistake actually. Oh, a mistake certainly there from Jack. Jack has made a big error there, but luckily for him, hangs onto the car, but that has cost him a lot of time towards the top 2. Speaking of the top 2 now, Deck, 4/10 from Coffee. But luckily for Destroyer Jack, and this is good news for him, he has his teammate there to provide Jack with DRS in case he needs it. But Jack has to hold on here. Kesney a 3-second time penalty as well. Jack has to hold on to that DRS from his teammate. He needs to. He cannot lose it if he wants a chance of a top 2 or even a win, of course. But right now, Jack would still get a 3rd place finish from the race. But he's over a second back. Does Boy Knockout need to think about playing the team game and bringing his teammate back into play? He may just be doing that. Destroyer Jack is using some battery, to be fair to him. But look, Boy Knockout did not use battery down that straight, and that has allowed Jack to get DRS down out of the Parabolica into turn 1 again. 3rd place got 3 seconds. Did it get another 3 seconds? Oh yeah, 13 seconds now. Not good for Boy Knockout, but Declo is back into the race lead on Coffee. And as you can see, Boy Knockout still close to him, but now Boy Knockout needs a bit of a miracle if he wants to finish 4th. The only good thing for him is, also, Rusted Bolt has 10 lap older tyres, so it's not like Bolt's tyre wear is going to be particularly great. Yellow flag, something's happened. It may just be Kesonator potentially. Hopefully, I think it is actually. Yeah, the Red Bull further back. Luckily, nothing too major has happened. Let's go towards Havoc Connor, who is closing in on Rusted Bolt again. Must be a bit frustrating this for the likes of Connor and Ardle, knowing that Bolt is on 10 lap older tyres, but Rusted Bolt was the only one of these 3 without a time penalty, so he's putting a splendid drive so far. We're back towards Coffee. Again, for the race lead, for the race win. Surely between this duo, Deck and Coffee, unless Destroyer Jack could somehow find himself in the battle. But what would Aston Martin do if Destroyer Jack could get himself closer towards that top 2? Would Boy Knockout let him through and let Jack charge towards Deck and Coffee? That would be an interesting factor. Or even, does Boy Knockout do something here? No. No is the quick answer to that one, as Deck and Coffee remain in the top 2. Drop back towards Havoc Connor, also just staying behind. King OG ahead of PRV Widget for 8th place as well. King OG does not have a time penalty. And further back, side by side, you've got Taylor with Lynx, and it looks like Taylor just ahead of Lynx Piece. Taylor now up into 10th place, but look who's behind Lynx. The Bird is showing up now, so he is in with a chance of a top 10 finish. Don't rule him out there. Let's go back up towards this quadruple set of drivers. Deck, Coffee, Knockout and Drac, and they are really bridging a gap. Look at that, 11 seconds over Rusted Bolt now. So Havoc Connor further back has made a move on Rusted Bolt back up into 5th place, but I think Bolt's going to take him back out of the Parabolica into turn 1. But let's go back up to this battle then. Is this what Boy Knockout needs? Is this a chance for him to even emerge into the race lead here? Because Deck has no DRS. Coffee does, but Boy Knockout as well, and Knockout alongside Coffee. What does he do? He stays behind. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It's an interesting line. A very interesting line. Is he going to let his teammate through? Yes, he is. Boy Knockout playing the team game. He has brought Jack into play now. He is giving his teammate a chance. Oh, Havoc Connor goes off. Connor goes off. Ardle through, and Ardle into the top 6 now. Taylor. Oh, the two kicks out. What's happened here? The bird has made an error. The bird is currently a P12. He's going everywhere. Oh, Taylor now drops places. Did he think he was at fault maybe and try to let them both through? Not too certain there, but the two kicks Albers do find their way through on Taylor. But the bird, oh, and there's a Red Bull. I think that's Kesenator again. Oh, is that the Red Bull? Yes, it is. But as you can see, Taylor losing out to the two kicks out. But let's go back up the field then again. Deck, Coffee, Jack, Boy Knockout. Honestly, who was going to cross the line first? Even if it's Boy Knockout, anything can happen in this race. We are into the final 10 laps of the Grand Prix. Now the final 9 laps of the Grand Prix. Deck, Coffee, and here comes Destroyer Jack, who has made a move on Coffee. So Destroyer Jack is straight through on the Alpine and around the outside. He will have a look on Deck, but now Jack is into second place, or is he? He's made a mistake. Coffee. Has Coffee given himself a chance? Not quite. And Jack remains in P2. Plenty of battling has happened tonight. Oh, yellow flags, yellow flags. Ardle, is he in trouble? I think he was temporarily. He's got a 3-second penalty to boot. And now it's lost out to Bolt and Connor. So Ardle down to P7, not in DRS range either. But with the fresher tyres, I think he'll catch them back up. Back on we go with Coffee. He's making this move now on Destroyer Jack, and up into P2 he goes. So again, we're now going to enter the final 8 laps of the race. But Deck, Coffee, Jack. Well, I can't say Boy Knockout for the win, but who will cross the line first of this set of 4 drivers? Will it be Deck? Will it be Coffee? Will it be Jack? Or even Boy Knockout? I know Knockout's got the penalties, but none of the top 3 have a penalty. We are not going to see a Kick Sauber win this race. The Kick Sauber, is that going to be for the first time this season? It's certainly going to be the first time for quite a few races, I think, that the Kick Sauber will not win. As our support for Deck or Coffee for the win, so not Jack or Boy Knockout. Ooh. Feisty stuff there, but Deck or Coffee, well, they're certainly looking like they're in a good place. Widget ahead of King OG, the Bird also ahead of his teammate, which can quickly look at the Kick Saubers there. I mean, wow. The fact that there are 2 Kick Saubers, I know they're in the slowest car, but they usually are the best 2 on the grid or right up there. But tonight, they're barely in the top 10. As you can see, Widget then ahead of King OG. Widget up into P8. To be fair, the more these guys battle, the more it does bring the Kick Saubers back into play. So we are just sticking on with this for now. I know the top 3 are close together. We have to go towards them, don't we? Have no choice really. Around the parabolic, and again the top 4 still all within 1 second of each other, by the way. That's how close it is between these 4 drivers. And Deck now will not be holding on to the lead. Coffee will fly past him. The 2 Aston Martins will charge up their battery and will settle in behind. We are getting into the final stage of the race. Not far away from the point where safety cars won't be a factor anymore. But there's still a chance that a safety car can occur. I want a new winner, and it would be a first UFRL win for either of them. Wow. I mean, for Coffee. Has Coffee not won a race in UFRL before? Even when he was back in Tier 3. So don't forget Coffee was in Tier 3 in Season 3, I want to say. Back when Willie Fernandez was in there. Obviously Willie's back in there now. And then back when I think you had, oh, what's their names? King Luke was in there. Harvey was in there, I think, as well. Unfitted Noise, I think. Back when they were in there, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if Coffee won a race back then or not. If he didn't, then it may very well be a genuine chance of a first win. Coffee though has got himself a penalty, so Deck and Destroyer Drac now going side by side. Taylor 3-second penalty as well, but the biggest penalties for Coffee. So Deck and Drac are the two in prime position for the win. And this is going to be a massive opportunity for the pair of them. But Deck right now has DRS. Destroyer Drac also does. But Deck is in a better position. So right now, Deck is the odds-on favourite to win the race. The pressure for that first UFRL victory. And that'll be quite a big win. It'll be in 100% tier as well. I'm pretty sure he hasn't won one yet. To be fair, I can't remember Coffee winning a race. But with how many times he has raced, you know, you never know. But sadly for him, it looks highly unlikely now because of that penalty. Unless the likes of Deck and Destroyer Drac really do face battle and go side by side through unconventional corners and lose time to Coffee, then Coffee sadly won't be getting a win in this Grand Prix. Right now, Deck is on for the victory, but Destroyer Drac, you can't quite rule out the Aston Martin for the win tonight, can you? Currently in P3, net P2, he's still got himself a good chance. As Deck once again stays behind Coffee. Could be a tactic here from Deck as well, to try and stay behind for as long as possible. Try and open up a gap to about, say, half a second to Coffee, maybe a little bit more, just so you know you've got enough to keep the Aston Martins at bay. I mean, the Aston Martins have both worked fabulously together as well. We are just going to drop back though, King OG with the bird. So the bird has now joined in this battle. And as you can see, he's not quite got the move on Kingy OG. Coffee, oh, I'm going to move up. I have to move up. I'm sorry, I have to. Has Deck got DRS here? It is close. He has just about got DRS. But the gap is 8 tenths. The gap is 9 tenths. Back to 8 tenths. Has Coffee got enough in him to pull clear? I don't think he has for now. So sadly for Coffee, Deck remains within 1 second. For a moment there, I thought Coffee was genuinely going to pull a second clear. That would have made things interesting, because then Deck and Destroyer Drac, they would have been able to battle each other. That could have given Coffee a genuine chance to pull away. Sadly for Coffee, that cannot happen. And Deck knows that. He is not going for the overtake into turn 1, however. We are dropping back though towards the bird, towards King OG. You are going to go side by side through the parabolica. The bird though gets ahead. And also, what about Rusted Bolt though? He is ahead of Havoc Connor and back up into P5. Further down, the bird and through a widget. The bird now up into P7. Don't forget he still has penalties, but we'll get the penalty situation on for you now. As you can see, the bird right now will still lose out to King OG, but the pace he's shown tonight, he can certainly pull clear. Let's go back up towards the podium then. Coffee, Deck, Drac, Boy, Knockout, the top 4. But Boy Knockout won't be getting a podium. Coffee will be getting a podium, but he won't be in the competition for the win. It's between Deck and Drac. Mistake from Coffee! Coffee's made an error. This is allowed for both Deck and Drac to go through. Have they both got through? And this is a big chance for Drac to potentially take the lead. Coffee's dropped back to P3. It's game on for Drac. It's game on for Deck. Who will come out on top here in the 100% tier? Ball Knockout is going for the overtake on Coffee as well. Side by side go Drac and Deck. Has Drac got the move? He is going round the outside. He's got the inside line. And Drac takes the lead here at Italy. He is ahead of Deck. But again, these guys are all going to be fighting to the very end for the race win. Coffee and Boy Knockout going side by side. Coffee still emerges onto the podium. But this battle for the win is on. We're not seeing the bird win. It's not going to be Lynx either. Merc obviously can't win. It's not going to be Bolt. It's going to be Drac or Deck for the win. Which D will win it? Will it be Destroyer Drac? Will it be Deck? Coffee obviously can't, Boy Knockout can't either, due to their penalties. I mean, the gap they've created to the cars behind is quite immense. But it's going to be one of these two drivers. Declo, 7 tenths, 7.5, 8 tenths behind. So he will get a DRS here. But he is quite far back from Destroyer Jack. I think Jack was trying to put on the burners there and was trying to clear Deck and really hold on to this P1. But Deck will get a DRS then into turn 1. It's unlikely that he's going to be close enough to get an overtake done. He'll want DRS on the final straight, but let's see what happens here. Deck, yeah, he certainly just stays behind. Oh, move potentially from Coffee. Just looks up there, but doesn't go for the overtakes. Deck still preserves second place. Further back as well, looks like Bolt and Connor going side by side. For a moment now, I thought Deck was going for a move on Jack. He just stays behind. Or does he? I have to go up towards this battle because look how close they are again. We're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. And again, all within 1 second of each other. Jack, Deck, Coffee and Boy Knockout, the top 4. Separated by less than 1 second. It's Ruster Bolt once again having a look on Connor, not going for the place. We have to go back up towards Deck. Don't forget, they will be getting DRS through into the Ascavi chicane. Coffee and Boy Knockout could still play a factor in this race. And now we're going to get 2 more doses of DRS to the end of the Grand Prix. Who will take the win? Look how close Deck is to Destroyer Jack. He will surely be leading into turn 1. Now we go round the Parabolica for the second final time in tonight's Grand Prix. We will kickstart the final lap here at Italy. It's game on between Jack and between Deck. Deck takes the lead away from Jack. What does Coffee do? He's going round the outside. He's fighting with Destroyer Jack. He is still fighting with Destroyer Jack. He is side by side with Jack. But Jack holds on to P2. So Jack keeps Coffee at bay. Boy Knockout remains in 4th. He will still get 4th come the end of the race. I mean, he's done amazingly to do that. As Ruster Bolt gets through on Connor, back up to 5th place. Ruster Bolt put in a great performance as well on older tyres. But we are going to get one final dose of DRS here between Deck, Jack, Coffee and Boy Knockout. So who will end up on top? We are going to go out of the Lesmos. And now the chance for Destroyer Jack to unleash his pace and attack Deck. Has he got himself a chance into the Ascavi chicane? He is just too far adrift. Deck still leads the race. Again, one more straight, all the way to the Parabolica. Who has the battery to burn? Who has run out? Deck or Jack? Jack is closing in. Jack is gaining. Jack is gaining, but not gaining enough. One final corner. Round the Parabolica we go. Has Deck done it? Has he done it? Jack is still there. Oh my god, it's so close. Deck wins at Italy. Oh my god, half a tenth of a second between the pair of them. But Deck fends off Destroyer Jack and wins the Italian Grand Prix. Unreal. Coffee P3, Boy Knockout 4th. The Bird will sadly lose out to Bolt, but will still take P6. Bolt P5, Connor P7. Widget will drop behind both Kingy and also Lynx. My voice is pretty much completely gone at this stage. Ardle will come through in P11. Sadly for him, I think he may have had a final lap incident potentially. But he will cross the line 11th. Willie Fernandez will cross the line in P12. But wow, the final lap. Amazing. Deck takes the win and fends off Destroyer Jack. Willie takes P12. Taylor will come through. He will take P13 at the end of things in that Mercedes. Just wait for him to cross the line. And we'll see what he can do. Kesonator as well. To be fair, Kesonator, I don't know why. Why is he going as slow as he is? I don't really actually know. Maybe just letting the Mercedes go through, which is interesting. Interesting tactic, but we are on board again with Deck. Because Deck wins the Italian Grand Prix, his first ever UFRL victory. Wow. Yeah, the top 4 it was pretty immense, I've got to say. Very well played to all four of them. Created an amazing win for Deck, and just incredible battling between the four of them. The two Aston Martins, I will mention, worked really well together. Destroyer Jack and Boy Knockout. So again, they done remarkably well tonight. So I'm certainly going to have to try and get my voice back before Tier 2 commentary. That'll be pretty easy, I'm pretty sure I'll do that very comfortably. But there you go. Congratulations to Declo. That first UFRL win is his in the 100% tier. And even though Jack missed out on the win, again, it's an amazing performance from him. The full race classification then, Deck from P4 does take home the P1. Destroyer Jack from 5th, second place for him. Coffee P3, that is your podium. Boy Knockout 4th from Bolt in 5th. The Bird, with mistakes in his race, still gets 6th. Connor 7th, Kingy 8th. Lynx P9, Widget in the top 10. Then you got Ardell from Willie, Taylor, and last of all is Kesonator. The DNFs for Bam, DD Friend, Merc, and Parkour as well. But once again, congratulations to Deck for his first UFRL win, and on the podium, Destroyer Jack and Coffee as well. But yeah, certainly those four at the front, wow, amazing battling between them. But yeah, thank you for everyone who has joined in the chats tonight, whether it's been in a Twitch or whether it's been in a TikTok. Again, for the final time, I will mention we were live across both. The TikTok is UFRL_F1. Feel free to give a follow or likes, whatever it may be. And if you want to follow us on Twitch, where we do go live for all of our races, Tier 1 Monday night, Tier 2 Tuesday night, Tier 3 Wednesday night, all 8 o'clock PM GMT. And then Friday, of course, 8 o'clock PM for the 100% tier. And Saturday, 9 o'clock PM for the international tier. 9 o'clock PM GMT. So that's 1 hour later than the other races. That'll be going ahead tomorrow night. Woody Fernandez, I presume, will be on commentary for that one. But for tonight, that has been your 100% tier race completed again. We've mentioned quite a few times tonight, but we will say for one final time, congratulations to Deck for his first UFRL victory. We have been UFRL, I've been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.